Hello, I'm Flip Nicklin. Welcome to Humpback Chronicles. Our guest for today is Ralph Lee Hopkins. I met Ralph Lee Hopkins as head of Lindblad's photo program, and over the years have traveled with him in the Arctic and Antarctic and Mexico, and a lot in Hawaii now. Ralph came up with the great idea of photo expeditions to support Whale Tales and Whale Trust. And he's been doing this starting out in Hawaii, but now doing them in Alaska too. I've gone on a few days with these folks. It's a great way to look at whales and photograph whales. And I have a few questions about how he got here.
Well, that is a great question. How did I end up in Hawaii and getting involved with the Whale Trust and also Whale Tales? And that's an easy answer. It's you, Flip. It was like, of course I admired your work forever, but it was like we had known each other, like we were brothers almost, for years. And you mentioned Whale Tales, and would I ever be interested in coming to Hawaii to give a talk? Of course, I accepted that invitation. What a great excuse to go to Hawaii. Had the idea after going out on a couple of the fundraising excursions that the folks that I travel with would love this opportunity, not only to support whale research, but the whales that are in Maui, just outside the harbor at Lahaina. It's just like a slam dunk for photography. And every day is spectacular on the water. Any day on the water is a good day on the water. And so it kind of grew from that I would come back every year, and I planned my year of travel with Lindblad and National Geographic around coming to Whale Tales and conducting these photo expeditions for the Whale Trust, which have been a very successful fundraiser, and what a great way to help whale research.
My second question would be, what do you do on these photo expeditions? I mean, I've been along with you, and it's great, but give an overview, both what happens in Hawaii and what was it like in Alaska?
Well, the short answer to what we do out on the water for these photo expeditions is we watch whales. That's really the number one thing, is being in the moment with whales. And for photographers, the act of looking for opportunities to photograph, especially behavior of whales, for photographers, it enhances our experience, looking in a critical way, paying attention to the light. And the drivers, to talk first about Hawaii, the boat captains are very experienced, not only identifying which whales we should spend time with. Everybody on the inflatables in Hawaii have a good seat. And we've even done things now like with CJ's. We have a caterer who makes us breakfast in the morning at the dock before we go out from CJ's Diner. What's better than watching whales and enjoying great food and camaraderie with all the photographers? As for Alaska, that was a different deal because you need a boat that's covered. You have to go farther afield. We based ourselves in Juneau, and we worked with Alan Marine and a local photographer up there, a great guy, Mark Kelly, who basically was our expedition leader. He put everything together, including the snacks, but we would go out on the water for 8 hours so we could spend time with whales. And it was not only humpbacks, but we had killer whales and just a lot of beautiful scenery as well, of course, in Southeast Alaska. In Southeast Alaska, there's very well-known whales that are very well studied by Fred Sharp's group and others. And we're looking for the what we call bubble net feeding or cooperative feeding groups. We spent 4 days on the water, and we had more images of breaching whales and feeding whales that you could ever really expect to have in a lifetime.
Boy, are we living in interesting times. But that said, when is the next photo expedition? Do you have more planned in Hawaii, and are you coming back to Alaska? What's coming up next?
Well, Flip, as you know, with all the uncertainty, we're still trying to figure that out, what's next. What we'd like to do is in February, be physically in Maui to do some whale watching and do photo expeditions, and raise money for the cause, for the Whale Trust. And we're looking to cut back the number to 8 donors per group. So we do usually a back-to-back, 3 days each. And we haven't figured out the dates and what exactly the schedule will be yet. But we'd like to bring 2 groups in February to Maui as part of this new virtual Whale Tales. But we will have some physical presence if things continue to improve. And we have plans to be in Alaska next July, so 2021. So we did have to cancel this year, but all the donors that were supposed to be up in Juneau with me August of this year, they've all transferred over to 2021. And looking forward to seeing you up there again.
I'd really like to point out that not only is Ralph a great photographer and a great teacher of photography, but he's also a wonderful guy to travel with. It's always fun. He's an engaging personality, and I hope we get to do much more with him in the future. So my last question, Ralph, is what else should we know about you, about your relationship with photography, whales, and Whale Trust? Just tell me what I don't know.
Well, thank you so much, Flip, for those kind words. We've had a great time traveling together, haven't we? And so many memories and so many great experiences from the Arctic to the Antarctic. And I'm still contributing images to the National Geographic online libraries and working now with Olympus with their cameras. And I do want to get back into doing more conservation photography, maybe some special projects. I'm really going to be focused on traveling with smaller groups, and that's going to include, of course, planning my year so that I can be in Maui and Alaska. And I hope at some point we can take a group out to Tonga or somewhere in the South Pacific where people can actually get in the water with the humpbacks, because that is a life-changing experience when you are at eye to eye with these amazing creatures. So thank you, Flip, for the opportunity to work with the Whale Trust and to spend time with you and Linda in Maui and Alaska. And let's keep it going.
Thank you, Ralph. Not just for the fundraising support, which we appreciate a lot, but coming up with a way for people to spend real quality time looking at whales, both in Hawaii and in Alaska. I hope we get to do many more photo expeditions. We are very thankful for Ralph and Photo Expeditions and how they've added not just to fundraising, but to the experience of people with whales. I'd also like to thank Sven Lindblad and Lindblad Expeditions, who have been a supporter of Whale Trust and Whale Tales for years and have become part of the Whale Trust family. And thank you for your support. Bye-bye.